Hey there, I'm Zach from dreamoфenglish.com, and today I'm going to talk about the FCE speaking exam. This is a continuation from another video that I've made where I talked about part 1 and part 2 of the FCE speaking exam. If you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. I'll leave the link up there somewhere. But this video, I'm going to talk about part 3 and part 4 of the FCE speaking exam. So let's get straight into it. Part 3 of the FCE speaking exam is called the collaborative task. Why? Because you have to collaborate with your partner. That means you have to have a discussion with them. This part lasts approximately 3 minutes. And it's broken down into 2 parts. The first part, which is 2 minutes, you are given a question with 5 different prompts. And between you and your partner, you have to discuss this question. Okay? Then after 2 minutes, the examiner will stop you and then they will ask you to make a decision based on this question. This part will last 1 minute. And really here, part 3 tests your ability to communicate successfully with your partner. Some important do's and don'ts here. As it is a collaborative task, obviously asking questions, listening and responding appropriately to your partner, facing your partner, use positive body language, smile, nod your head, okay? And therefore, don't ignore your partner. Don't talk to the examiner. And don't talk too much. This is not a competition. So let's take a look at an example from part 3. You'll get the question, which is, what are the advantages and disadvantages for families with teenage children of doing these activities together? You'll then get 15 seconds to quickly look through the different prompts. One way to start this part simply is by saying, let's begin with, let's kick off with, and I'm going to put up some useful language for this part. Stating an opinion, in my opinion, as far as I'm concerned, the way I see it. Then expressing agreement and disagreement. I couldn't agree more. I beg to differ. And obviously asking for an opinion. What are your thoughts on all of this? What do you think? Wouldn't you say? And also it's important to have some language to change the topic. Moving on to, how about? So it's a good idea here to take notes of some of these useful expressions so that you are not repeating yourself. You are not always saying, I agree, do you agree? So let's take a look at an example, shall we? So I'm going to look at 2 different roles here. One person might start by saying, for me, going on a bike ride together is a great way to spend time with the family, because it is a good form of exercise and all ages can enjoy it. How do you feel about this? I couldn't agree more. Like you said, everyone likes going for bike rides. On the other hand, I don't think parents enjoy playing video games, so they might find it hard doing this with their children. Wouldn't you say? Not necessarily. I used to play video games with my dad, and it was a great way to spend time together. What about going to historical sites? Okay, so you see the point. One person is not dominating the discussion. They give their opinion and ask for their partner's opinion. The partner responds and back and forth. Okay? It's important to note here that you are not expected to talk about all 5 prompts, and in fact it's highly unlikely that you'll have time to talk about them all. Normally you'll get time to maybe discuss 3, maybe 4 prompts. And keep talking, okay? The examiner will stop you after 2 minutes. And when they do stop you, they will then give you 1 minute to decide maybe which is the best, the most important, the most useful. So for example, with this question, the examiner might ask you to decide which is the best activity to do as a family. So again, I will put on the screen some useful expressions to reach a decision. Maybe, well, I think it's definitely not, or we can eliminate I'm between. For example, well, I think it's definitely not going to a concert because I'm between visiting historical sites and playing video games. For me, video games is the best because I see your point, but I think. And if you do come to an agreement, you can finish by saying, okay, so we both agree that going on a long bike ride is the best activity to do as a family. However, if you don't agree, that is completely fine, and you can simply say, let's agree to disagree. And now we're coming to the end of the exam, so let's take a look at part 4. Part 4 is known as the discussion part. The examiner will ask you open-ended questions in order to start a discussion between you and your partner. Okay, the questions are based on the topic from part 3. And the idea here is to interact with your partner, not necessarily the examiner. So again, very similar to part 3, make sure you face your partner. You use positive body language, you listen, respond, and ask questions. Don't just speak to the examiner. Don't ignore your partner. And don't use one-word answers. For example, do you think families should spend more time doing activities together? As you can see, this question is based on the topic from part 3. And some useful expressions here could be to state opinions, as far as I'm concerned, clarifying your opinion, the reason I say this is because, and responding to your partner, like you've said, okay, or to follow on from what you've said. For example, personally, I'd say that nowadays teenagers don't spend enough time with their families. They prefer to hang out with their friends. I think this has a negative effect on family dynamics. What I mean by that is blah blah blah. What do you think? Well, as you have mentioned, teenagers don't want to spend time with their parents. In my experience, okay, so again, we are having a discussion. Finally, some useful tips for the exam day. Attitude is everything. So be happy, enthusiastic, and most importantly, smile. There's a huge difference between that candidate who comes in with this energy to the candidate who comes in disinterested. Work with your partner, not against them. For these 14-15 minutes, this person is the most important person in the world for you. Don't worry about making mistakes. The examiners are not there to punish you. They reward you for what you can do. Listen carefully. Listen to the examiner, to the instructions, to your partner. And finally, speak up, speak clearly, and speak slowly. So, I wish you the best of luck for your speaking exam. Again, you can follow me on Instagram, Dream of English, for more Cambridge related posts. But until next time, guys, have a wonderful day. See you later.